Some of these pictures may make your skin crawl. It's the conditions that Attorney General Brian Schwab says Adolphe Edwards forced families to live in. Edwards owned 9 buildings in Ward 4 and 8 on Missouri Avenue in Northwest and Alabama Avenue in Southeast. An investigation revealed that Edwards forced tenants to live with mold, sewage leaks, toxic lead contamination, collapsed ceilings, rats, and raccoons. What qualifies a landlord as a slumlord here in D.C.?
A slumlord is a property owner that has completely turned a blind eye to what the law requires of them to do with respect to maintaining their properties in safe, habitable, code-compliant condition.
As part of the judgment, Edwards has to pay 100 tenants back 5 years' worth of full rent. Courts found Edwards had nearly 9,000 violations. He's also now filed for bankruptcy, and one of the properties have sold.
So there we have it. We have a property in D.C., and if you guys don't know, I am in the DMV area. I'm familiar with where these places are. I don't know exactly where the buildings are. And shout out to my wife. She actually sent me this, and I didn't realize it was this bad. I didn't realize until I came up into the office and I saw this video exactly how bad all of this property damage was. And as I dove deeper into what was going on here, I learned that the earliest complaints about this, at least in the article that I read, happened 10 years ago. The tenants have been fighting this about 10 years, and he's had multiple complaints. He's had multiple violations. He's had multiple inspections that have been overlooked. You guys saw the pictures. They said there's rats, raccoons in the ceiling, water damage, all types of stuff. And this dude has been able to operate and have people in his apartments living in these conditions for at least a decade. And honestly, I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. I cannot fathom, for one, how you allow your property to get into this bad of a condition. You had the money to do these repairs if you were pricing your stuff at the appropriate market rents. Either way, as a landlord, it is your responsibility to make sure somebody has a safe and habitable living condition if they're renting from you. It's my understanding that in DC, if your landlord is not doing repairs, you can withhold rent. So for the past 10 years, apparently these people have been paying. These people have been paying, haven't been getting what they need. This guy has been fined. He's had inspections. And for whatever reason, they've dragged this out over the past decade and allowed people to live in these conditions. I just don't understand it. Like, I really can't wrap my head around how all of this happens. I didn't know that people could live in these conditions in America, and people were just getting away with these type of slumlord practices. Now, I want to get into the article that the Washington Post made about this situation, because there are some details that are listed in the actual article that are not in this video that we just watched. So the gentleman's name, he is Adolphe Edwards. It says that he owes $6.8 million in restitution based on the living conditions of his properties over in Ward 4 and Ward 8. It says Adolphe Edwards forced his tenants to live in squalor and then tried every trick in the book to avoid taking responsibility. You own the property. There is no avoiding taking responsibility. All of it's on you. It's your property. The conditions, whether the tenants caused them or not, at the end of the day, you own the place that they live. So if something breaks, it's your stuff that's breaking. If they move out, you can give them all sorts of marks on their credit and refer them to this office and that office. That's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, you own the property. It's your responsibility to make sure it's in a habitable condition. This judgment is a significant victory for tenants and the district, confirming the facts that when landlords put profits over tenants' health and safety, the independent office of Attorney General will use the law to hold them accountable and ensure that tenants receive the compensation they deserve. A rare win for the consumer, being able to get awarded this money that they are owed for the living conditions that this gentleman had them in. This is the part of the article that I am not much of a fan of. DC Superior Court Judge Yvonne Williams last month ordered Edwards to pay more than $1.5 million in tenant restitution, which the Attorney General office says will result in refunds to nearly 100 tenants. Edwards also owes $5 million in civil penalties to the district and more than $300,000 in attorney fees. Okay, he owes $1.5 million to tenants. In the video and in the article, they said he's going to have to pay back rent for the past 5 years, 2020 to 2025, I'm guessing, or 2019 to 2024, one of the two, to the tune of $1.5 million to 100 people. That sounds like a good number until you actually do the math. That's $15,000 per person. What's confusing here is he owes an additional $5 million just to the district. And I've got to ask, why are they giving the district so much money and giving these tenants only $15,000 a piece? It could be Section 8 housing. I'm not entirely sure. I don't see that in the article. I didn't see that in the video. But $5,000 for 5 years worth of rent doesn't sound like a lot of money. On top of that, what about interest? They've been paying into this pot for 5 years. Rental prices in the DMV are already inflated. And we know Trump has been talking about cutting budgets for the Section 8 program and sending it back to the states. I don't know exactly how it's going to work for the district without a state. So we'll see how that goes down, if that ends up being a move that they make. But $15,000 to these renters just doesn't sound like quite enough money to me. I'm glad that they're getting something. I'm glad that this guy is being outed for his poor practices, the way that he's treated his tenants. I'm absolutely happy for them that they're getting something back. It just doesn't sound like enough. Once again, this is Adolphe Edwards. He's paying about $6.8 million because he was a slumlord and had people living in absolutely horrible third world conditions right here and in the district, right here in the DMV. He's paying about 1.5 just to the tenants, which I think it should be more. Then he's paying an additional $5 million in civil penalties to the government. You let me know what you guys think. These are my thoughts. If you like the video, subscribe to be back here for the next conversation. If you have something to say, let the world know. This is the place for discourse. Till next time. Peace.